Hi, I'm Robert Tolpe, and today I'll be talking about how Elon Musk is duping his crypto-obsessed fan base into fattening his wallet. I will be discussing the age-old strategy he's using to squeeze every last dime out of his cult Twitter following, and the possible ramifications of his actions on the lives of young investors. Before we discuss the age of cryptocurrencies, I want to take you back to a time before even the iPod hit the market. The year was 2000, and a Texas energy company called Enron was all the rage amongst investors. Its stock peaked at just over $90 that year. Even the most respected analysts at the time would say it was a safe buy, and huge firms including Barclays, Alliance Capital, and Citigroup owned millions of shares. But by the end of 2001, its stock was worthless. So, what happened? Well, you see, Enron appeared profitable enough at the time for investors to sink their money into it. Its CEO boasted about its outstanding revenue in early 2001. Enron's wholesale business continues to generate outstanding results. Transaction and volume growth are translating into increased profitability. And he said that right after he sold 450,000 shares of Enron at a value of about $33 million. And by August of that year, he resigned. What nobody except Jeff and his colleagues knew at the time was that Enron was cooking its books. The company was hemorrhaging money and fabricating confusing tax reports to hide its massive debts. News of the scandal broke in October, and by the end of November, a single share of Enron was worth less than $1. That CEO, who praised the company's earnings while selling massive amounts of its stock, was sentenced to 24 years in federal prison for his crimes. What he and his colleagues did was commit a form of securities fraud known as pump and dump, where you buy up a bunch of stock in a worthless company, decry how amazing it is so lots of people buy its stock and it drives up the price. Then, once the price is high, you sell your many shares of the company and make a huge profit, and watch the price of the stock plummet as all your fellow investors lose all their money. So, what does this have to do with cryptocurrency and Elon Musk? The price of Dogecoin and Bitcoin, two popular cryptocurrencies, peaked at all-time highs earlier this year and showed no signs of stopping. But now they're both in a nosedive. Dogecoin dropped by 50% and Bitcoin by 20%, and they're still falling. It's clear that they were vastly overvalued. But why? What drove the price up so high in the first place? There's a couple of factors that I would attribute to such a drastic rise in price. First is just general hype surrounding cryptocurrencies and crypto technology in general, and this resulted in a lot of overspeculation. The second is the current ease of buying cryptocurrencies via apps like Robinhood and Coinbase. And the final factor is the legitimization of Bitcoin, especially as a currency, as many websites accept Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as payment for goods and services. These factors alone cause the price of cryptocurrencies to balloon. But there's another factor that's easy to overlook, and that is the influence of social media. There is a rise in crypto influencers, people with very large followings online that with one tweet can cause the price of a cryptocurrency to soar to record highs. And Elon Musk, with his 55 million Twitter followers, is the most notable of these influencers. One tweet from him can cause the price of a cryptocurrency to rise by 20% overnight, which is exactly what happened on May 20th when he tweeted this. There's nothing inherently wrong with tweeting about cryptocurrencies. However, it's important to note that Elon Musk has a vested interest in influencing its prices. His company, Tesla, which he owns over 190 million shares of, recently purchased more than $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. The announcement of that purchase alone caused the price of Bitcoin to rise by 16% in one day. And now this is concerning. Elon directly profits from extolling the virtues of any cryptocurrency he owns. But don't worry, he pinky swore that his company would never sell a single Bitcoin ever. Oh, really? Let's take a peek at that Tesla Q1 earnings report. Oh, what's this, Elon? $272 million in proceeds from the sale of digital assets? So let me get this straight. You announced that your company is not only buying a crap ton of Bitcoin, but that your company will even accept Bitcoin as payment for their cars. The price of Bitcoin as a result rises like crazy. Then you immediately sell that Bitcoin for nearly $250 million profit. Then you later announce that, oh, never mind, we're actually not going to accept Bitcoin as payment. It's too bad for the environment. Let's just forget we ever said that. Then the price of Bitcoin plummets, and your fanboys who put their life savings into the currency go bankrupt. That's sounds like a familiar scheme. It reminds me of Enron's executives cooking up a hot pile of BS to make their stock sound valuable after buying a bunch of shares of it, and then selling once the price skyrockets. And then their lies unraveled, the price plummeted, and investors lost billions of dollars. Now, I hope I'm not implying that Tesla planned this all along, and that they never actually were going to accept Bitcoin as payment. That it was all a plan to pump up the price of Bitcoin and dump it for a huge profit. Because I think that would be accusing them of fraud. And I'm sure Elon would never do such a thing. I honestly think a huge part of this is him just having fun. Because having that much power over the crypto market must be a ball. His minions will literally do whatever he says. If he says jump, they ask how high. And if he says to buy Dogecoin, they ask how much. And I mean, if you're one of the richest men on earth, then buying millions of dollars in Dogecoin is all fun and games. But as for his young fans, they can't afford to lose the money that they're investing. And if you read through r/Dogecoin, people are losing thousands of dollars investing in these cryptocurrencies. And it's mostly young men in their early teens and 20s. You know, people like to hate on women who fall for these girl boss MLM pyramid schemes and end up with no money and piles of useless merchandise. But these kinds of get rich quick schemes transcend gender. There are plenty of young men right now with crypto wallets filled with useless Dogecoin. And these hustlers selling their crypto course training packs are no different from Facebook moms trying to recruit you for Arbonne. And I feel like a huge part of this is schools not doing enough to teach financial literacy. Young people have no idea how to manage their money. Most people under 25 have less than $2,000 in their 401k. And that might be because of their financial circumstances, but when it comes to these young investors, it's not that these teens who are investing their entire college savings don't have money, it's that they have quite a bit of money, but they're throwing it down the toilet when they really can't afford to. Now, this is just a brief PSA for anyone who is young and has money to spare. Open up a retirement account and shove all that money into retirement funds and ETFs and don't touch it until you're 59 and a half. It's that simple. If you're putting it in cryptocurrencies or day trading, that is very risky and you're going to lose a lot of money, especially if you don't know what you're doing. In fact, when it comes to some of these stocks and cryptocurrencies, you might as well go to the casino and put your money in a slot machine instead. Warren Buffett described a natural progression in investing that he called the 3 I's. First, there are the innovators, who see an opportunity that others do not and invest in it. Then there come the imitators who see the success of the innovators and mimic it. And then come the idiots, who see what the imitators are doing and try and copy it. But by the time they come along, it's already too late, and they end up losing all of their money. When it comes to cryptocurrency, everyone knows about it already, and most people in the game now are idiots. Prices are plummeting, and it looks like the whole thing was just a massive bubble that's just now starting to pop. For now, it seems like the hype is over, and those holding on to their cryptocurrency are in the minority. Perhaps cryptocurrency will never be mainstream and will always be confined to the realm of nerds and shady characters online. But how should I know? I'm only a YouTuber. Anyways, I'm Robert Tolpe, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and maybe even check out my Patreon linked below if you'd like to support this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Here are all my wonderful patrons.